Okay guys, so one of the coolest things about this job is the free stuff that you get in, and so when Loctek contacted me and said that they were willing to send me one of their monitor mounts, I said, you know what, I actually need a monitor mount, why the heck not? You can look currently, now hang in with me, I know it's shaky, but you can look at my current setup here. I'll try to focus in here for you. But as you can see, if I was on Pimp My Setup, I'm sure they'd say, hey, move those cords, or you know, the cords need to move. But hey, this hasn't been terrible. It's a really nice setup in my opinion. I've got the Corsair K70 mechanical keyboard, Razer Death Adder. I've got two 24-inch monitors that you know, have super low input lag. No, I don't have G-Sync or any of these kind of things yet. I've got a Yeti mic with a pop filter, really nice PC, but I just thought, you know what, I need a little bit more than what I have right now in order to really set this thing up the way I want it. So when Loctek contacted me, I was thinking, you know, they had these two different monitor stands here. They've got the D5D and the D7D, so D5D and D7D. And most of you, if you're coming here to this video, you're probably wondering, hey, should I spend $100 on the D5D, or should I spend $200 on the D7D? And what is my opinion on that? Well, we'll find out coming up soon. I've got some things to put together here, and I've got to put both of these monitor stands on my monitors to really see if this one is heavy duty enough to really do the trick or not. So after I've done that, then you guys should have a good idea of whether you want to go with the cheaper one or the more expensive one. Okay, so throughout this video the mic may change in and out just depending on whether the camera quality ends up better than the Yeti, depending on what location I'm in. I'm going to try to keep the quality up for this video for you guys, but again, I think it's more about the pictures that you can see here than actual audio quality and things like that. There's two ways that you can actually mount this this dual monitor stand to your desk. One way is through the clamp, as I've done here, and you just screw in these holes here, screw in the clamp here, and then you can see where the table would go there, and you use the clamp like that. The other way is actually a grommet system, where you'd have a hole in your desk, and then you wouldn't have, I didn't quite get that in the picture, then you wouldn't quite have the clamp, still not in the picture, then you wouldn't quite have the clamp in the back of your desk. So kind of a cool way, but then you'd either have to drill a hole in your desk or already have a hole there. So something to think about. I think that it's going to be similar on both of these monitor stands. Okay guys, I'm going to get down to the nitty-gritty with you. Again, I am sorry for all the blur and the movement, but if I don't do this, then you know what, you're not going to get to see the parts of this mount that you really want to see. I don't have an articulating mount for my camera, so I can't stabilize this as much as others, but hey, you know what, you're going to get the point. You're going to see a lot, and maybe you'll see a lot more in this video than you will in others, and that's what I hope. So just a close-up look at this. It looks pretty sturdy. To adjust this, I don't know if you can see it, it's not quite on the ball bearing, but you can raise it up and down. You can bring this forward, and that effectively changes the height of it a little bit, how you swivel and pivot it. Also back here they have some, let's get underneath here. If you could see up in there, if I could put my finger in it, maybe you could see that there's some cable management, which is always good on both sides here. I believe there's a little bit more on the other model, the 7D, so just a little bit. This is supposed to be air grade aluminum, and there are some plastic parts to it. Specifically, looks like here on top that this feels plastic. Underneath it feels metal. Actually, that's plastic too. So this is supposed to be air grade aluminum, but I think only the internal components here are, and back here as well. So that gives you an idea on quality of this particular mount. Other things about it, the black looks good. we're going to mount it up and see exactly how it performs. Okay, so this time I'm actually using the tripod. As you can see, I've got both monitors up. When I first put them up, they were leaning a little bit forward, but here in the back, I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera, but just right around here, there's a place where you can tighten it up if they won't go forward. There's not a ton of movement when you have two 24-inch screens like that. There's not really too many places. I mean, obviously I can pull this one forward, and that's great, but that's not a real viable option, just because, hey, where's the other screen going to sit? So really the only, in my opinion, the only really good place to put this, you know, would be back like that. So yeah, you can move them down and up and left and right. It's not a full articulating mount, but you know, for $100, if you're wanting something that just holds your monitors, this does do the trick. Other than that, it's pretty sturdy. I don't really see this thing going anywhere, you know. I mean, or hey, you know what, if you had two people sitting on desks, you know, you could do quite a bit this way, you know. I'm just assuming that this is going to be for one person, but obviously you could do a variety of things with this. Also, you can even mount these monitors, or one or both of them, vertically, so you could turn them, and then you'd have a few more options that way as well. I wanted to get you guys up and close with the 7D model just so that you could see the differences. Obviously, if you're going to pay twice as much for a product, there better be some differences, and one of the differences is just a sturdier clamp. Everything here is bigger, you know, more solid metal here. It's wider. On the back of it, it actually has a plate so that you can cover it up. On the other one, you don't get a plate with it, it just sits there, which behind your desk, you know, if you hide it pretty well, won't matter too much, but this does just look a little bit more professional. In addition, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's padding on the inside here that covers all the screws that are up underneath here, and there's padding on the clamp itself for when it goes up into your table. So it should protect your table a little bit better as well. One additional thing that I wanted to mention was, as you can see, the USB pass-through here, and you have your mic and headphone pass-through right here, your green and your pink. So you know, that may be more important to some than others, so just something to keep in mind. All of these pieces, the difference, this is plastic here for the cable management, but everything else feels like metal. That's different than the other than the 5D model, just because it's just a little bit more sturdy. This model rates up to 20 pounds per monitor, whereas the other one is about 11 pounds per monitor. If you have a 24-inch monitor, you're not going to go over 11 pounds, so it's not going to be that much of a difference. But both of these stands are rated for 10 to 27-inch monitors. Just make sure that if you have a monitor over 11 pounds, that you go with something more substantial like this. Now, here on the side, I don't know whether you can kind of see that or not, but there's actually a ball bearing there. Okay, see that? And this allows for just a little bit more tilt. Okay. And I don't know exactly how that works, because I guess I thought it was going to go the other way. But anyway, there is just a little bit more rotation in this monitor and this stand, and something that should be a little bit more obvious once we get it up and going. So obviously your cable management is going to go through here and here, and overall, actually, I think it looks a little bit more stunning than the other if you're into look. This one just looks more substantial, and I really like the kind of like silver flake that's in here. Hard to see in the video, but it's a little bit of a shine silver flake. So also on the other model, one thing I will say is that it came wrapped in plastic, and the plastic gets stuck up underneath this lip here, and I didn't have that problem with this model. Okay, I have everything set up here. I haven't aligned the monitors. I haven't fixed all the cables. Some of my cables were a little bit short, but they're far enough to reach this, but I wanted to show you exactly what this monitor arm will do. Now, in between making the last video and this video, I checked out the previous monitor mount a little bit more, and it does go horizontal, and it does have a gas spring, but it doesn't work. Everything that's on the other mount doesn't work quite as easily as this one. That doesn't mean you won't be able to position your monitor exactly where you want. It takes a little bit more effort. So if all you care about is being able to position your monitor where you want, then that first one that's half the price is pretty appealing. That being said, this one just screams better quality. Just better quality in how this moves. The ball bearing here is more flexible. It's very easy to turn your monitor any way that you'd like it to. As you can see, it just moves more smoothly. Again, I would have this monitor on, but my HDMI cable and my AC adapter are just a little short right now, so I'm going to have to get another one if I really want to adjust this in a different way than I'm doing it now. Again, other than that, they have all the same features. One thing that I will point out that might be very important to some of you to make the case for the 7D, and that is that this one goes slightly higher. I'm not sure whether you can tell in the last video or this one, but it looks like it has about another 2 inches of height. Now, I'm 6'4", so my sitting height is already really high, so that extra couple inches is really important to me. I was using monitor stands before, as you saw, and so I needed to be able to have that extra height, and I'm glad I have it. When you use the spring, your final adjustments you can make in the back to stiffen everything up, to keep it in place where you want it, but it just, you know, it just seems more substantial. Again, the weight capacity on this one is about 40 pounds versus 22 for the other. They're both rated for 10 to 27 inch monitors, but I think you can see in this video the subtle differences might actually be a big deal to some of you. Okay, all in all, I've never really used many dual monitor mounts, so I can't say too much when comparing this to other things. You guys will have to price shop and decide that yourself. I will tell you that both of these work, and they work for fairly decent sized monitors. These are 24-inch monitors, and I think they'll work for monitors much heavier than these. Mine are probably, you know, only about 8 pounds, and this particular monitor mount will work up to 20 per monitor, so you can get some pretty hefty monitors there and still adjust them. Now, as far as which one I would go with, you know, if I had spent my own money and I'm thinking $100 versus $200, usually I'll go with the $100 and try to make it work. The 5D has a lot more plastic on it. It doesn't feel as substantial, like I said, but what it does well. It holds the monitor in place and allows you to pivot, swivel the monitor, allows you to adjust the height of the monitor, and really, even these monitors were higher than I needed with the 7D once I really got to fine-tuning it and adjusting it a little bit later on. So for me and my money, I'd rather put that $100 towards something else and go with the cheaper model. If you're an editor, if you're moving your monitor around a lot, and you just want an easy way to do things, then I think the 7D is probably the way to go, or maybe another monitor mount that's very substantial in the same way. One thing I will just note real quick is that the 5D comes with all of this, which is cable ties. It does come with a back plate. I didn't see this at first. It does come with a back plate for the clamp, and comes with a few plates for the cable management as well. So I thought I'd just point that out before I ended the video in case anybody was confused. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have in the comment section below. You can also go to facebook.com/top10gamer. Also, I'm starting a forum. It's very, very, very new. There's hardly any participation yet, but I thought I'd just throw that out there, forum.top10gamer.com, and there you can go to ask me any questions. I'm the moderator, sole moderator right now, but I'm sure we'll be getting moderators in the future as the site continues to grow and things like that. Again, go join us on facebook.com/top10gamer as well. If you guys like this video, press like and subscribe so that it can get more exposure and so that I can get more exposure, and we'll see you next time. Valeu!